1 month after Lincoln's inauguration, on April 12, 1861, the first shots of the Civil War are fired at Fort Sumter. Mary's home state of Kentucky will provide many soldiers for the South, including 4 of her brothers. But the First Lady refuses to leave her husband. Instead, as the Union Army trains in Washington, she grows used to living with troops camped in the White House. Under threat and under strain, Mary relies increasingly on an important new relationship. It's with her dressmaker, Elizabeth Keckley. In Washington, D.C., the National Museum of American History holds a collection of original First Ladies' dresses.
This dress was made for Mary Lincoln by Elizabeth Keckley. Elizabeth Keckley was her sole seamstress. She had been born into slavery in Virginia, and she eventually bought her freedom through her skill with a needle and moved to Washington, D.C., where she set up as a dressmaker, and she became the dressmaker to all of the famous and really the best-dressed women of Washington.
With Keckley's help, the new First Lady will challenge society's snobbery towards herself and the President.
They're portrayed as being ignorant Westerners, very uncouth people with no finishing, no class. When really Mary is a well-bred Southern lady from Kentucky who received a fine education, speaks fluent French, can converse on politics, and has a fine sense of fashion. So she felt the need to prove herself in Washington since all of these rumors had come before her.
Elizabeth Keckley will go on to write a memoir in which she describes the success of the first dress she works on for the First Lady.
Mrs. Lincoln looked elegant in her rose-colored moire antique. I was surprised at her grace and composure. I had heard so much of her low life and vulgarity. No queen could have comported herself with more calmness and dignity than did the wife of the president.
Keckley makes Mary this sumptuous silk gown with 60 bows, famously photographed by Matthew Brady.
Mary Lincoln relies on Elizabeth Keckley. They have a close relationship. It's a relationship of unequal people, yet she is the person that can soothe Mary when she's in a temper, who can calm her.
And Mary supports Elizabeth, too. Just 4 months into the Civil War, her dressmaker's son George is killed fighting for the Union. Mary writes to her.
The kind, womanly letter that Mrs. Lincoln wrote to me when she heard of my bereavement was full of golden words of comfort.